gentlemen, this session is not about me. This session is about you being able to build something that people would really need, something that they would want to buy. So how to approach it is that if we think about what is the number one reason why startups fail, what is the number one reason? It's because they build something that people don't want to buy. That's the main reason why most of the startups fail. And today's topic about value proposition canvas is addressing the heart of the business model canvas. If you're imagining the business model canvas, the value proposition is actually in the heart, in the middle. If you think about as a human being, your heart is in the core. That's like the key element that keeps you running. That's the same point with value proposition. If that is done well, the rest you will figure out. So that is one of the reasons why I'm super excited to be here today with you to discuss some of the elements about getting a really good value proposition so that your startup wouldn't fail for that number one reason. But if something bad happens, then it would be something else. But the key thing is build something that people want to buy. So to think of it, one perspective is from a founder of Google. So Larry Page has this special test. He calls it the toothbrush test. And he says that a good problem to be solved is something that you need to use at least 2 times a day. So if you think in the morning you brush your teeth, in the evening as well, that's a really good product. That's something that people need. So whenever you're building something, a service or product, think if it's something that people need often. Because one of the core mistakes is that we build products that people very seldom need. They buy it and that's about it, but they don't need it anymore, or they don't need our service anymore. So that quite creates a question mark. So why do we exist after selling one product? Why should they need us? A good product is something that you need often, and it is good if you need it every day, not necessarily every day, but the more often your customers need it, the better it is. And now I want you to install these 2 phrases into your mind, differentiating a good problem to be solved and a bad problem. Because as a startup, as an entrepreneur, what you are doing, you are solving problems. I mean, that's the main difference between an entrepreneur and a regular person. You know, where a regular person sees problems, oh my God, this is wrong. Oh my God, we don't have this cafe in our village. So that's a regular person. But what entrepreneur sees is opportunities. I mean, people need something. I could build it. Some system works very badly. I could build a better system. Entrepreneur always sees opportunities in problems. I would actually encourage you to start collecting great problems. You really should write down all the problems that you see in your problem notebook, because your problem notebook is your opportunity notebook. And the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. Let's approach it in these metaphors. So think about these 2 different animals. One of them is a shark, another one is mosquito. So if a mosquito bites you, it's kind of itching, it's annoying, but it's kind of not that annoying that you would be willing to travel hundreds of miles and pay thousands of euros to get some kind of a medication for it. It's kind of like, okay, it's itching. I hope it will go over. And many of the problems that entrepreneurs solve often are mosquito bite problems, which means they are kind of nice to have solutions. But people are not so open that, we need it. If we don't get it, we will, I don't know, die. Because that's the thing with the shark bite problem. I mean, imagine if a shark would bite you, would bite off your leg, you would be willing to pay any kind of money for any kind of service that would help to get your leg back, that will help you to stop bleeding and survive, right? So it's a shark bite problem. It's something that you're willing to take your wallet out and say, I need this immediately. And examples are that, for example, if you have a headache, sometimes it's kind of like you occasionally develop a headache and it goes over, no problem. But shark bite is kind of like having a migraine. You know, it will come back and it will be so strong and deep that you really seek for some solutions. Maybe you need some meditation app to adjust your breathing so that migraine will go away. Maybe they are offering some special food that will reduce the risk of experiencing migraine. So migraine is kind of something that people are more willing to solve. And I want you to remember those two metaphors, a mosquito bite and a shark bite. And I encourage you to rather seek for problems that are more of those shark bite problems. These are bigger opportunities. Or you could think it also in this way. When you start as a student company, then you kind of try out, then you just play out and test it out. You can start out with the mosquito bite problem, do something simple, build something, get some experience, do some like simple sales of simple products. But your next level phase should be some kind of a bigger problem, something that people are really longing to solve. So try to find first the problem that you are able to solve. And with your next enterprises, try to aim for bigger problems, because the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. If we think about business ideas, in a sense, business opportunities in an intersection where your interest, something that you're interested in, and problems of others collide. So that means that you want to do something and people need something. For example, I've been working as a trainer for 14 years, and more than 1,000 trainings all over 18 countries that I've been able to deliver. And why it works for me is because I'm super excited about teaching. I'm super excited about speaking. And there's a lot of people over there who want to learn. There's a lot of people who want to organize events, and they have problems. We need a really good moderator or MC or trainer who could really inspire people to learn. So they got the problems, I have my interests, and when those things meet, that's an opportunity. So that's the way basically I run my enterprise. I'm solving problems of others by using my own skills and abilities and talents. But why do we buy as humans? Why is it that we buy some products and we don't buy some other things? I mean, let's think about, for example, this is a drill. So you could drill a hole into your wall with this. It's a nice device. Many of you might have it in your home. I also have one. It's in my cupboard over there. I never use it because I don't need it that much. But I bought it. I thought I will be a super handyman when I have one. It is estimated that average lifetime usage of these drills for home users is about 12 minutes. So 12 minutes, they do it, and then it will be in a cupboard waiting for years. But is it worth it? Is it a good idea to buy a drill just for those couple of screws? Not sure. I mean, let's face it. Actually, what people need is they basically think that they need a hole in the wall, but actually what they really need is they need to put that painting on the wall. And to put that painting on the wall, they think, I need a hole, I need a screw, then I need a drill to put that screw over there. But is it really true? Do we really have to use that complex solution to have that poster on our wall? I mean, we could solve it in some other way. For example, what if we would use this adhesive stick? I mean, I could stick it off, stick it on the wall, and put the painting over there. I guess producing this would cost only 50 cents. I could probably sell it for €5 instead of this €100 drill. And I actually need a screw and some other elements as well for the drill. So the point here is that when you're thinking about solving people's problems or those shark bites problems, don't think about that complex solutions that, oh, we will make this massive advanced technology thing and this very advanced platform to solve this little student problem. Rather, always think about solving it in some nice, clever, wise way. So I want you to remember this as a metaphor. So whenever you're tackling some kind of a problem, always ask from yourself, what is this really bright, simple solution to that problem? In which ways can we really wisely, really smartly solve that problem without using any complex technology? And when people buy something, it's because they have some jobs that need to be done. So for example, that person who wanted to have that painting on the wall, their job was to get that painting on the wall. That was what they needed. They they needed to have that painting on the wall, and there's like different elements to that. One is functional. I just functionally need that thing on the wall. Other is emotional. I need that thing to be beautiful on the wall. I want it to be super nice to put it over there. So there are different reasons why people want their things to be done. If you understand people, if you understand them well, and if you're able to offer something that they say, wow, where have you been? That's the sweet spot. So let's head to the value proposition canvas. Value proposition canvas as these two big elements. On one side, you have your customer. These are the people who will be the buyers of your product, the users of your product. And they have specific things in their like to-do list. For example, if you're a student, every day you have your jobs to be done. You have to wake up in the morning, you have to get some breakfast, you have to get some transportation to school, you have to get through your classes, you have to have something for lunch, you have to have some transportation to your evening trainings or your exercise, physical exercise. So you have certain things that you need to get done. But those things are causing pains to you. Pains meaning that something really annoys you. For example, let's take this simple example of energy candy bar. I mean, something that a student could eat during the day to restore the energy and focus. So let's say, as a student, I need to get through the day. Maybe I have 8 hours of classes every day. And I feel after every 4 hours or something, my energy goes down. I'm not able to focus anymore. I don't have any ability to really listen, to focus. So my pain is that I feel tired. I feel exhausted. I don't like this feeling. On the other side, I have some gains. Gains means that I dream of something. I hope I would have energy throughout the day. I hope I could focus on that last lecture and I would be able to remember everything that the teacher is telling over there. So gains are like dreams, ambitions, hopes that your customers have. So this is the customer side. Let's say it's a student, a school student who wants to have more energy and better mental clarity throughout the day. So they have some things that they really hate, and they have some gains that they really hope. Maybe they have tried some different products. Maybe they have tried, let's say, bringing a special smoothie with them to the lectures, but they have had problems that because the smoothie is so fresh and maybe there's some really good ingredients out there and they made it freshly in the morning, but by the time they are going to have it, they feel it's kind of like, it's a bit sour already. It has kind of become not so good, not so tasty anymore. So that could be some pains with their existing solutions. I mean, always when people have problems, they have some kind of existing solutions that they already use to solve that. Or maybe, for example, if they feel tired, they eat some Snickers candy bar. But the pain is they know it's not healthy. They know it's something that is bad for their health because of the sugar and everything. So they feel kind of like, I shouldn't be doing it, but I don't know any other better solution. So for example, as gains, they might dream of something. I wish I could have some kind of a snack or drink or something I could take with me to my lectures, and that would stay fresh and good, and that would be super healthy, so that throughout the day, I could have it and feel empowered. So that's one example on the customer side. But then comes to the game, you with your solution. And your role as an entrepreneur is to actually create some kind of a product that would help this student to get that mental clarity and energy. So that's like your gift. And your gift has to have some pain relievers. This is like a pill that will take the pain away. So meaning that if I felt guilty that if I eat a Snickers candy bar and I know it's not healthy, but I would like to be healthy, then your product has to take the pain away so that I wouldn't feel bad that I eat bad food, right? On the other side, there are some gain creators. This means that your product has to give something that they longed for. Maybe your product is super healthy and you say it's like organic and it's got super food in it, and super food will make you even smarter than you actually are. Like they would feel like, oh, that's something I want to buy. That's something I would like to buy. And it will take the bad feeling of eating an unhealthy food away. So these are two elements you always need to consider. Take something bad away and give something good for the customer. And that's what your product or service is all about. If your service doesn't take the pain away, if your service doesn't provide any wow, super experience, then no one's going to buy that service or product because they feel like, why should I? I mean, it's not better than the other one. Why should I? So the key thing is to understand those customers who have the problem and whom you want to help. So usually when I see student companies, many of them are developing ideas and products for other students. Why? Because they know their customers the best, because they are experiencing the same lifestyle. They know the main problems, and then they know what they need. So that's one of the approaches. But if you are developing a product or service for, let's say, elderly people or business people, then you need to go out there and you need to somehow dive into their mind to understand what are the things they need to do on their to-do list throughout the day, and how can you, with your product, help them live a happier life with less sad, painful moments. That's the whole essence of a value proposition canvas. And when you're about to fill it out, then the more specific you are, the better it is. So I brought this example of energy candy bar, for example. Then I would really need to list out what people hate about the current solutions and what would they like to have more. And obviously, if you are not the customer segment yourself, you need to go out there and you need to interview people or observe them. This wonderful old man, Stephen R. Covey, used to have this really nice phrase. He used to say, first seek to understand and then to be understood. So what he meant is that if you want people to really understand and really buy your product, you first need to go out there and understand them. One of the tools is a persona tool. So persona tool is something you imagine your customer, like a classical person who will be your customer. You could actually give them a real name that will make them more like a real human being. And you can think about different aspects about that person. One of them is, for example, tasks. What are the things that they need to do in their life? So if I brought this student example, those students, they need to study, they need to pass their courses, they need to get their grade A, they want to be successful in their life after school. So these are kind of like tasks that they want to gain. And we can even go like on the longer run goal. What is it that they want to achieve in their life? For example, if you're aiming this product for more ambitious people who really want to be successful after school, and you have this special energy candy bar, then you really need to figure out what matters to them. They want to be brighter, they want to be faster, they want to be, I don't know, maybe they want to be more open or social. What do they want to become in their life? So you are coming in and saying, I am helping you with my product so that you could achieve what you want to achieve. And there are specific pain points that they don't like about their current situation. And it's also really good if you know who are the influencers of your customers. Who are the people that they are looking up to and they are listening to? In social media, we have the influencer economy. It means that young people are following the people. And if that influencer says that, you know, this super smoothie, this is super good for your brain, you got to have it if you want to be the main hustler, everyone's like, oh yeah, this guy said I need to have it, I need to buy it. So you need to ask, who are the influencers of the people that you are serving, of your clients? And then think, okay, what are the messages that those influencers are sending out? Or how can I somehow, how can I pass my message through those influencers? Because those customers are open to whatever those influencers say. Who are their role models? Who are they looking up to? Who are they feeling that, whoa, if that person does it, I want to do it as well. And another aspect is feelings. So whenever you're solving a problem, there are feelings related to the problem. Fears. Let's say one of the things is that, let's say if you're developing some kind of a product that would help to enhance mental clarity and energy level of students, then maybe students have feelings that if I'm not able to focus, I will fail in my exams. And if I fail, I will be thrown out from the school. And oh my God, that would be scary. My parents will be really, really kind of disappointed and everything like that. So once you understand the feelings behind it, then you realize what is the value that you're bringing. You're not only offering them a candy bar, you are offering them something that will help their parents to be proud of them, that will help them to succeed in their studies, succeed in their life. And this means that that candy bar could be more than just €1. It could be maybe €5 or whatever the thing is. So the better you understand your customer, the buyer, the better you understand what makes them tick and click and what they need, the better value proposition you're able to develop. So to offer them something that would matter. And the value proposition canvas itself looks like this. So the previous one just had some extra images over there. And the essence over here is to really write them out in a detailed manner. But there's one more thing. Obviously, in startup world, you need to be aware that whatever you assume that is what the people need, in reality, they might need something else. For example, are you familiar with this application called Bourbon? Bourbon. So Bourbon is actually early phase Instagram. The developers of Instagram first created Bourbon. And Bourbon was an application that first was meant for people that they could log in different cafes and write, oh, I'm here. It's very nice cafe over here. And by the way, Bourbon had a function that you could add images of the places that you are. So people added images. But when they started testing this application, they realized that the most exciting part about this Bourbon application isn't about logging into some cafes or something that they originally thought that people want, but it was about sharing the pictures. People liked the most part was the sharing of opportunity to share pictures. And then they pivoted. Pivoting means that you change your idea, you change the direction. A word pivot comes from a basketball term. So in basketball, if you hold the ball, you're not allowed to walk around with the ball, but if you get the ball, you're allowed to turn yourself a little bit to throw it to some other person. That's called pivoting. So pivoting means that you change the direction in accordance of the needs of your customers. And Instagram is one of the many examples that started with one idea, but once they learned about the needs, desires of their customers, they changed their idea, and the rest is history. After selling Instagram to Facebook, doing a successful exit and being used by so many people, we do see the power of understanding what excites our customers. So if these Bourbon people would have been very fixed, thinking that, yeah, we need to do this and people log into the cafe, this is so wonderful idea. And if they would have been fixed, not seeing what people are excited about it, we probably wouldn't have that Instagram success story. Someone else would have made Instagram and made it successful. So we have one question from Daniela. How can we determine if the problem we found out is really important? Well, it's something that you do as an initial testing. Let me give you some exercises, some frameworks, how to approach it. First of all, I would encourage you to go through these questions. Let me help you out with those questions. So whenever you're thinking about the problem that you're solving, so first to define, okay, we want to solve this problem. Then ask, who has this problem? Who is this person that have it? And don't say everyone has it. I don't think that there are many problems that everyone have, or if they they probably have some existing solutions out there. Try to be more clear who specifically are the group of people who have this problem. Secondly, what is causing this problem? Why do they have this problem? Let's say, just to keep this example simple, I would bring the same energy bar, this energy candy for students example, because it's a simple example to really understand it. So if people feel tired, and if specific students, university students tend to have this problem, they're not able to focus on the second part of the day, what is causing it? Okay, we should dive in. Why do we feel tired? We do some Googling and we realize that, okay, it's because of the blood sugar, it's because of the oxygen, it's because of our attention. So we really map the problem, understanding what are the issues that are causing this problem. Next, we ask, what does the owner of the problem actually need? What do they actually need? So in case of the students, they don't need a candy bar. They need better clarity. They need consistent energy level throughout the day, right? And then I should actually think that in which ways can we solve, in which other ways can we solve this problem? Meaning that what other ways? I was thinking about candy bar. Maybe I should do some energy shot or something, or maybe I should do some, I don't know, electrical stimulation. So there's many different ways to approach the same problem. So that's one of the ways to address the problem. But how do we understand if that's a good problem to solve once we have clarified who the people are, what they need, empathize with them? There's 3 elements about a good innovation, about the good solution. So those 3 elements to test if you have them are, first of all, if you're offering something as a solution to that problem, is it desirable? Do people feel, oh my God, I want this? Or is it more like, bleh? Is it desirable? And if you make something that is desirable, you understand that's a good problem to solve. If people desire, if they want that. But another option, another element to consider is, let's say, if I'm thinking, okay, I would build a hoverboard. A hoverboard is something that floats in the air and you could travel with it. Would it be desirable? Yeah, students would love that idea. I mean, you could fly around. Everyone would like to buy it, right? But the second phase, is it feasible? Am I actually able to build it? And if the answer is no, it's super complicated. If the answer is no, it's super complicated, then not that much of a good problem to solve, or not that much of a good solution. And the third element over here with the yellow background is business viability. So let's say I thought of this hoverboard. Okay, everyone wants it. Then I thought, I'm not able to build it, but I could hire some people in China, or they have some hoverboards over there. I could bring it in and I don't know, I could make flowers on it and pimp it up and make it cooler. It's doable. I can find some partners. But then I have to ask, is it viable in a business sense? So let's say if I buy those things from China and add everything, those things, are people actually willing to buy those things for that amount of money? Or would they say,
Harald, we don't hear you.
pointing out, because I have no idea if I'm heard or something. So thanks for pointing out. So the business viability is another element. Am I able to make profit with that? And that's the three elements you need to consider when you're choosing a problem to solve and thinking of a solution. How am I going to solve that problem? Do people want it? Can I actually build it? And can I make profit out of that? If one of those components is missing, then you need to do some creative work. If all of those components are missing, then ditch it. Take some other problem, take some other solution. It won't fly that way. Another aspect, if to evaluate whether if it's a good problem to be solved, is taking a perspective of an investor. What some investors are seeking for is that they are checking, is it a large problem? Meaning that, is there a big market for that? Or is it only some people that want to buy it? Secondly, is it valuable? Will people be willing to pay a lot of money for that? Or is it maybe super cheap thing and people don't want to pay much money to solve that problem? And the third element for a good problem is something that is urgent. Urgent meaning that I need it now. If I don't get it, then I'm somehow missing out. I'm somehow not able to live my life the way I want to. So large markets, valuable for the customers, and urgent, they need it immediately. If those are covered, you have a good problem to solve, to figure out the solution. So I'm checking out some questions. I have one question from Kantarji. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I'm a part, if I am a part of a group of people with a problem and I make a solution, I need to question them about the problem or not. Because if we are a part of the group, we understand the group. So as I understand, the question is, let's say, if I'm a student and I think what students need, I could still be very biased because it is very easy to mix the needs of others with the needs of myself. So if I think, for example, I don't know, one of my passions is technology. Sometimes technology fails, obviously, but I would be making a big flaw. Rather, many other people would just like something that works and they don't care how it works. So yes, always when we are the target user group, there is an opportunity that we are making mistakes by assuming that every other person wants and needs it the same way as you do. You always need to go out there and meet at least 10 other people that are different from you, but in your target group, interview them. And if you see that all of them are having the same patterns, then you're on a good way. But if you see that they have totally different needs, then you need to do some more research. Sanda is asking how to launch a product in such a way as to prove that it is actually the solution to the problem, or how to make people believe that your idea is a better choice. Well, that's marketing. Marketing is making it easy for people to fall in love with your product. So one of the things how let's say one example is a nice example from technology field is when the late Steve Jobs was presenting the iPod back in the old days, the MP3 player. He wasn't talking about, oh, this is 16 gigabytes of memory and you can put MP3 files on there. He was showing this device and saying, hey, you could take your whole music collection with you wherever you go and listen to it. Would you like to buy that? So one of the key things about making your product or service attractive is being able to communicate your product or service in a way that people understand how it is making their lives better. And even, now that's the thing, we might have two similar solutions, but if one team is able to communicate their idea better, they will succeed. For example, one of this, I think it was a second position in the student competition in Estonia this year. What they were producing they were producing these special pills that you could take, you could have in your mouth, and it will start to foam. And then you take your toothbrush and then you brush your teeth. So what they are doing with that product is, instead of having those plastic toothbrush things, the toothpaste packages, they are using something that you can buy in a glass package, and it's kind of like pills. It's different way to use toothbrush, toothpaste. So it's not paste, it's like toothpaste pills. But the point is that 2 companies that year started with the same idea. One of them did one way, other did other way. But one of those companies was better able to communicate their idea, and also their product development was faster. They were more open to listen what people needed, and they made the same product more attractive to people. So it is about understanding what the customers need and speaking in their language, so that when the customers would see you selling the product or see your website, they would feel, oh my God, that's exactly what I've been looking for. So the key is really to understand the language of people and communicating in that language so that they would understand the value of your product. And yes, you could launch a product and then make a need for it. And I mean, there's several, the key is you have to show how it will improve the lives of people. And yes, then you can make things that people never thought that they would need. I mean, it's a really nice phrasing from Henry Ford, the late Henry Ford. He said that if I would have asked from people what they need, they would have just said, we need faster horses, right? But Henry Ford made cars. So it's always people say what they need, but you as an entrepreneur have to think, how can I even provide something, a better solution that would solve their problem? And how can I show them, communicate it to them in a way that they would see, oh, that's even better than what I imagined, what I had in my mind. So it is possible. But I would encourage that whenever you're collecting information from your customers, then I would offer these questions that you could use to really learn about your customer, these like principles or strategies. So first of all, when you go out there to learn about your potential users, what they need, you need to ask open questions. So instead of asking, do you need this product? Do you want this product? Or would you buy this product? Rather, let's say, let's take the same example as I used, that students need more energy throughout the day so that they could focus. So I would first go to a student in my course. I would sit down, have a chat with them, and I would, for example, interview them. I could start with a closed question asking that, so how, or I could actually use an open question. I would ask them, how do they feel throughout the day? Do they feel a bit tired sometimes in the day? They would say, yeah, I feel a bit tired on some occasions. Then I would ask, in which occasions, in what times do you feel the most tired? When do you feel that your energy is really going down and you're not able to focus? And they say, oh, when I'm in mathematics lecture, or when I'm in evening lectures or something like that, or after lunch. So you kind of learn about the moments where they are having this problem. Then you ask them open questions such as, so what are you currently using to get your energy back up? How are you currently making sure that you're able to focus? And they're saying, okay, I take this power nap, or I need to eat some Snickers, or whatever the thing is. So you take notes, you learn what they are currently using, and then you ask, what is it that you really dislike about these current solutions? What you don't like? They say, for example, if I have to take a nap, I don't have any place to take a nap. And if I eat the Snickers, I feel bad because I know sugar is bad for me. I would like to have something else. And you're just there like, okay. So you're listening, you're collecting the information, open questions. And this way, they will actually tell you what they need, what matters to them, and then you'll know what kind of product to offer them. Secondly, understand why they behave like this. For example, if they're using a Snickers as a current solution, ask them, so why do you prefer Snickers as your current solution to this problem? And they would say, I don't know, it's easy. It never goes old in my bag. I can take it wherever with me. I don't have to keep it in a refrigerator or something. Or maybe they say, I have a vending machine in school. I just put the coin in and I get it whenever I want to because I forget to buy those things. So if you understand why they are using current solutions, you get some hints. What do I have to change in my product so that they would prefer my product? Thirdly, analyze the actual behavior. Don't only ask, how would you would like to live, but go out there and observe what they are doing. Observe what the other students are doing to keep themselves awake throughout the time, and make some notes and see how they are currently behaving. How can you make it easy for them to start to use your solution one day? That's the key. That's how you work out the good value proposition, make it easy for them to switch. And finally, 80% of the time, listen. You are out there to hear what the people need, not to pitch your idea. Oh, would you like to buy it? Rather, really listen what they long for, what they don't like about the current solution, and also what they really like about the current solution. For example, if I would be developing a really good training format for public speaking training, I would go and interview some people who have gone to really good public speaking trainings. And I would ask, what did they like the most about those trainings? Or what was the most valuable things that they got from there? And I would get some ideas what I could integrate in my training. So you can always take good things from existing products, and you can also take kind of bad elements from existing products and turn them around by offering your solutions to make them better. That's how you can approach it. So what I would encourage you to do is that I would actually encourage to take your idea and even today or tomorrow, whenever possible, go out there and go and get some feedback about the problem that you're solving. Go and learn what matters to people about this problem and what should the solution enable them to do so that they would want to buy it. Basically, if I would take the student candy bar example, I would ask them how it would have to work that they would want to buy it, or what is the important elements in there so that they would want to buy it. But one thing, I mean, when you go out there, you get a lot of ideas. People are saying, oh, it should be like eco stuff and it should be like all vegan and everything. And they are probably brainstorming all kinds of ideas. But if you try to implement all of those ideas, then you end up with this tool. This is a tool that does everything, but this is a tool that doesn't do anything well. It's a really bad knife. It's a really bad screwdriver. It does everything, but it doesn't do anything really well. So what you need to figure out is what is the most important thing that people need, and how can my product solve this problem really well? Otherwise, you will be just making a Frankenstein product. Frankenstein product is something that has a lot of features, but it's really hard to use it, and it's really complicated because they have stuffed everything in there. And that's where some tech developers really shine. They make it really simple that people are able to use it well. And one extra exercise that you could do once you have figured out your product or service is to write down this positioning statement. You can make a screenshot out of this. So positioning statement is, in one sentence, you are trying to say, what is it that we do and why it matters? So it basically takes together who are our customers, why do they need it for, what is the name of the product, and what is the category? Category meaning that a group of different products that solve this problem. And now that provides a compelling reason to buy. So what is compelling means that people feel that, oh, that's a good offer. I would really want to have it. So be able to clarify what makes my product or service so compelling that people will want to buy it? And also in one sentence, what is different in your solution? What is better in your solution than the main competitor? And the main competitor might be something else. If, for example, if I'm producing energy shots that you could drink, my main competitor could be those Snickers candy bars, right? I still have to clarify what is the difference that I'm providing. And the main differentiation, that's the key, what people want to hear. And whenever you're pitching your idea to a mentor or investor, that's what you need to say. We're solving this problem to these people. And what's unique about our solution is that. So that's what people want to hear. And that's what your value proposition is all about. How are you improving the lives of other people? And if we're taking it on a big picture, then just as one example, this is a business model canvas of Spotify. And Spotify has two different value propositions. One is for free users, those who don't want to pay. They can have access to a lot of music in their smartphone, but it comes with ads, advertisements. But for other groups of people, for example, their value proposition is not only for users who listen to the music, their value proposition has to also consider their partners, such as the music creators. For example, value proposition is with Spotify platform, millions, hundreds of millions of people can have access to your music. Would you like to put your music on this platform? Nice, right? Or, for example, advertisers that if you advertise in our platform, you have access to hundreds of millions of users. So value proposition can be for different target groups if a system is more complex, but usually it's mostly for your customer, how your product makes their life better, improves it. And I mean, that's what you are all about. You have to figure out, why am I the Superman saving this world? And how am I able to communicate it in a way that people would see that you are taking their pain away and you are creating what they long for. You are helping them to achieve their dreams by solving their shark bite problems that they are having. That, in an essence, is a value proposition canvas or value proposition development. So my timing, I understand I had 45 minutes. I understand my current timing is up. If Viorica, now it's time for you to say, do we have some time for Q&A, or how's the approach here?
Yes, Harald, thank you so much. We have, I think, 6 more minutes. So,
okay.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, please ask Harald. I don't know when we will have the opportunity to have him with us. So please take this chance. Any question, you can switch on the microphone and also the camera.
Or write it in the chat is also an option.
Or write it in the chat, yes.
How many persons we must question about the solution before we decide if it is a good solution or not?
Okay, I would say minimum 10, because that will give you some understanding. But the bigger problem that you solve and the more complex problem it is, the more people you should interview. So minimum 10 people who are not your close friends, because your close friends might give you, they might be more open that, yeah, you should do the solution that you already have. But if they are strangers, then they are more open to say what they actually need. So minimum 10 for a student company. But if I would be running a real business, I would, it's an ever-going process of actually listening to your customers. And it means that you have first some kind of an assumption that what people need. You develop some initial product, a prototype, for example, and then you get feedback to that. So for example, if it's 10 people that you interview, then you get some ideas. How can I build initial, very cheap and simple prototype? And then for the next people, you can already ask feedback to your prototype, how to do it.
Thanks.
So minimum 10, I would say, but the more, the better. Then you have different approaches. And key thing is start to notice patterns. Patterns means that different people are pointing out the same pain points. This is the magical thing. If you start to notice the patterns that people are having as their key pain points. One question over here is, how would it help if we knew what are downsides of the person's interviewed current solutions to the problem we are trying to solve? Should we make the solution better or find another solution? Let me read that again for a moment. If you know downsides of the okay, so if I'm not fully sure about the direction of questions, so I'm giving some sort of an answer, and Prosi, if that's not a good answer, then it would be nice if you could elaborate. Should we make a solution better or find another solution? Well, one thing is that you don't have to be, when you're developing a student company, you don't have to be a super innovative that no one else in the world has done it. Rather, you have to do something a bit better than the others. I mean, we have so many products in our life. I mean, for example, smartphones, there are so many producers of smartphones, and I would say most of them do quite the same, but some of them do it differently that is more appealing to a certain group of people. So you don't have to create something totally new. You can always innovate. And I would actually want to give you some websites that you could go and check out to get some ideas. This is one list of resources. Just go out there and see what people are currently doing in your field already. Go check out Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Trend Hunter, More Inspiration, The Cool Hunter. Sorry, this last one is only in Estonian link. Don't check that out. It's only Estonian, but the English ones, go and check it out. You get some ideas on how can what are currently solutions that are done in other countries. For example, that student company that came second best in Estonian competition, they weren't the first to make those toothpaste pills, but they made it better. They made it better for Estonian customers. They made something different. So you don't have to be super different. You just have to understand, what do I need to change that would make people prefer my solution? I mean, that's the key element over there.